Let's start with our first story. And the Ghana Police Service is yet to arrest its officer who drove his vehicle into 3 unsuspecting bystanders at ATICO near Kanishi more than 24 hours ago. At least 1 person was killed while the 2 survivors are receiving treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and Cocoa Clinic respectively. The policeman, who was driving a Toyota Vitz vehicle, was said to have been pursuing an errant trotro driver when he tripped over a mound and veered onto the pavement, ramming into people. Parts of the body of the deceased, identified only as Abena, were severed. Manuel Kranting of our security desk visited the scene and now reports.
These are angry residents of ATICO, a spot just off the Winneba Highway where a vehicle rammed into unsuspecting bystanders. According to eyewitnesses, the vehicle in question, a Toyota Vitz taxi, was being driven by a police officer who lost control. Here's one of them.
We all just heard loud honks from a trotro vehicle running at top speed, just drive past us. In just a few seconds, we saw a taxi tailing it. The taxi veered off the main road and knocked down 1 man there. It then crossed over to the other pavement and knocked down 1 lady. Her name is Abena. As we were wailing, a policeman emerged from the crowd. We even thought he was just here to calm the tensions until he said he was the driver of the taxi and that he was pursuing a trotro driver.
Three people were knocked down. Even though 2 of them are currently receiving medical treatment, 1 of them died on the spot.
There were nails right here, and the car crushed her into the tree. She was pinned against the tree and her left leg was almost severed. It was totally shredded. But up until now, no police officer has been here to check anything. Do you think they will do this if she was one of them?
This has left many of the vendors at the spot, which is one of the busiest bus stops on the stretch, visibly spooked. This lady has been selling breakfast meals at ATICO Junction for years.
I am extremely terrified. I couldn't even eat the whole day. Yesterday, I had to throw away all the food I had cooked.
But they blame the bad state of the road for the incident. They want the deep gullies and potholes to be fixed to avert a recurrence.
This is the second reportage that I'm doing on this bad road. And what I'm saying is that it's a major contributing factor. Because, for instance, if he was not on top speed, definitely he was going to use this outer road. Of which, knowing that people do board car here and as a bus stop, they do normally reduce the speed. Because of this bad road, they don't use the outer road again. They all use the highway. And of course, when things do happen, this is one of the things that do happen. Now we lost a life. The family is in grievances. Must we always lose life to fix and be responsible? No. All we are saying is that the little and as a quarter of the national cake, this is what the people in this area we have. Fix it for us. Fix this thing for us. When it rains, it's a canker. We have to carry people at our back. Some people charge 5 cedis to carry you and cross this road. Here becomes like a river. This gutter is choked. because all the water that is coming has to use one route. And we find ourselves terribly in situations that sometimes we feel that we are not Ghanaians or we are left out.
It is a Yankupon Yadoma, and can you pay Wahano more than something peoples into one man on my pan in my
But for God, we would have all died. We want the roads to be fixed. Our children cannot find jobs, and the roads too are bad, just killing our people.
So in just a split second, this spot, which was Abane's source of livelihood, became the spot where she breathed her last, with her bloodstains still pretty much visible. For now, her family is calling for justice to be served, while the residents here, many of whom are really concerned, call for the immediate fixing of the road, which they say was a major contributing factor to this incident. For JoyNews, my name is Manuel Kranti.
But more than 24 hours after this shocking incident, the police says it is yet to arrest the driver of the vehicle, who was identified by eyewitnesses as a police officer. ASP Kingsley Kanda is the Odorkor Divisional MTTD commander.
According to my investigator, he did not meet him. He did not meet him, the police officer there. But he met the three victims. We've not seen the driver. It's the driver that we've not seen. It is alleged that he's a police officer, but I've not seen him. So I've asked my investigator to follow up to the hospital and check if you can get his details. The rifle was taken from the car at then. You know, the rifles have no marks, though we have serial numbers on them, but we can not say that maybe this rifle is from this station or that station. That's why we know, but we are doing our best. We are doing our best. We'll get him. We'll get him. Learn here, he cannot walk. And he's also undergoing treatment.
But in the past 24 hours since the incident happened, the confirmation gets.
Well, security analyst Adam Bona has been reacting. He says he is disappointed at the police officer and demands his dismissal.
Surprised at the posture of the MTTD commander in the area, Israel.
So essentially he is saying that they haven't really been able to identify the gentleman and that it is alleged that he's a police officer.
How can he say it's alleged that he's a police officer? The gentleman drove a vehicle. She drove a vehicle. Who is the vehicle registered to? Whether it was a taxi or it was not a taxi, who is the vehicle registered to? Where is the location? What is the location address of the vehicle? Obviously, someone was driving that vehicle. And so, I'm told from your report, he followed the victims to the hospital. And so if you follow them to the hospital, there are surveillance cameras. There are surveillance cameras all the way from wherever this incident took place to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And so to say you don't know, and these cameras, and this happened, from the footages I've seen during the day, these cameras are able to capture images of persons, in the driving seat. And so it should give some clear indication of who, whether it's a male or it's a female, someone approximately a certain age, a certain height. All this information would show. And so it is this is my imagination, how the MTTD commander comes out to say, we don't know who he is, and we are still investigating. I don't think the kind of policing Dampare is, discharging in this day and age in this country. is what this police MTTD commander seems to be doing. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. He's right.
Eventually, if he's found, what would you expect to happen?
No, what he's done is criminal. I mean, he has done dangerous driving. People have gone to prison for this type of driving. So if I obviously believe he's a police officer, so the police would have to investigate him. You have police officers, I'm sure some of them are listening to me, who own private vehicles. Their own service regulation requires them to inform the Inspector General of Police if you want to own a private or a commercial venture. Most of them have trotros in their numbers, taxis in their numbers, Okada bikes in their numbers, and they have not informed the IGP. So probably the IGP should begin to look into it. But the criminal aspect of it should be looked into. And probably those who have been injured, compensation and all that should probably extend it to these people, Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Adam Bona, for sharing your insights with us. Now, the medical superintendent at the Exim Government Hospital in the Western Region, who is now a witness to the case of alleged fake pregnancy and kidnapping in Takrady, Dr. Jerry James Abobra.